Can you do whacking, voguing, and punking?
Yes.
Okay, so break it down. Let us know the difference between the three, because most people don't know. Most people, including myself, don't know.
Okay.
It's a
It
hard
gets
one.
yeah, it gets sticky because basically, in short, you had information that was coming out from three different sources. Um, Coming out from Angel, coming out from Shabadoo, and then coming out from Tyrone.
Hmm.
Now, whacking was coined on Soul Train by Tyrone and Jeffrey Daniels. Basically, whacking was just an expression for the movement of what your arms were doing. Punking, on one side, you'll hear that punking was a derogatory term that it was used to call people who were doing whacking because they were gay, and then another you'll hear that it was a word used for like the push, like you're punking push. Basically, whacking and punking is the same dance. It's kind of like martial arts. You might have karate, you might have Shotokan, and you might have Kyokushin. They all stem from the same source, but they have two different ways that you can go about it. It's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Vogue itself is totally different from all of them, and whacking or punking would be the mother to that style.
Okay.
Whacking is going to deal more with hitting a lot of beats in the music, going from the voice to the strings to whatever little sound that you hear, and is same with punking, with going with different emotions of the song. Vogue itself is going to hit more of poses.
Okay.
Now, all of these styles came from posing anyway, so it's kind of like whacking went from posing and then went back into posing when Vogue came in. Another difference was the music that was being played.
Right.
During that time. You had disco music, then it went into funk, and then it started to go into house.
Right.
So with the music, the styles changed.
Okay. Whew, that was a very good explanation. I appreciate that. So let's transition then into your life as a hip hop dancer, because that's also a very big part of the dance for you.
Yes.
What would you say you specialize in, or what's like your strongest areas?
My strongest area is whatever the music is playing at that point. I've never been one to just limit myself to one style. I've always done many different styles because I wanted to be a master of everything.
Right.
I wanted to, at least, if not be the top, be in the ranking of everything that I could do. That's how I was raised. That's how I was trained. Hip hop, for me, started out in the southern styles. Cause being from the South, New York, I feel it doesn't, and still might not respect a lot of the southern dance styles that were out, because it's done a different kind of music,
Right.
and it's a different kind of flavor. We call it jigging in Texas. But I also do hip hop. Very big into popping too. Actually, popping was really, as far as street dance styles, was my first love. Everything about it, from the different intricate movements to big hits. My mother was the first one to actually show me anything from popping.
Your mother?
My mom dances. She'll give you a
gosh.
mean robot.
What? Oh my goodness.
And at the end, she'll throw in the stanky leg.
Wow.
She get down.
Mom. Shout out to mom, wherever you are. Work. Okay. So how does your cultural background influence your dancing? And do you get support from your family, your tribe, all of that for the dance that you do?
Yes, I get support from my family. I get support from my tribe. At first, I know my father always, because we come from a military background also, my father always wanted me to go into the military. When I was in high school, I did military schools. I went to, boot camp and all this other stuff. But once I went to college, I had an option of going, into the military after I finished as a lieutenant, or
Oh wow.
pursuing my dreams. And for both, for me, it was kind of like it didn't really matter. I could have went with either one of them and been okay. Now, because my views are a little different, I'm very glad that I chose the path that I did.
Yeah, we're glad to.
Because coming from the dance from a spiritual aspect of it, because Native American dancing is very historical and emotional feeling. I take that with everything that I do, any kind of dance style that I do. And a lot of times I'll try to incorporate different dance steps that are done in different dances in Native American community
Right.
in the dances that I do, whether it be popping or if I'm doing house. But unless you are a part of that circle, you
Wouldn't
won't really
recognize it.
recognize it. But it's kind of funny for me.
It's cool. I mean, it makes what you're doing more unique and more different from what other people are doing. I can say I've seen you, because we did the show last year, I've seen you do all of these different styles that we're talking about, and I can't pick out which one you're strongest in, because you're strong across the board, which is phenomenal. And I think from an audience perspective, it's great to be able to watch that, because it's like, wow, he can do everything and be authentic, and do it right. So much respect for that.
Thank you.
Yes, Oz. So you travel all over the world, teaching, performing, choreographing. I'm going to read, where is it, some of these countries that you've been to. Before I read these, I'm going to tell you where I've been over the past year.
Okay.
I've been to New Jersey, Connecticut,
Nice.
and I went on vacation with my husband to the Bahamas.
Nice.
So that's about where I've been. Let's see where you've been. Canada, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, Denmark, Holland, Sweden, Russia, Italy, England, and Spain. You embarrass me. You really embarrass me. Like, that's not cool. Don't come on my show embarrassing me now. Like, this is insanity right here. This is insanity. Do you get that or no? Oz is trying to be humble now. Okay, let's move on. You were just recently in Japan.
Uh-huh.
You were there when a very huge tragedy happened. How did it affect the dancers there? What was it like just being a part of that whole experience, even though you weren't near the area where everything happened?
Okay, it's a crazy experience because of some of the teachings that I grew up with. It's around this time certain things are kind of expected to happen, so I wasn't so shocked, but at the same time, you think that you're prepared for a lot of situations, but when it actually happens, you have no idea. I was in Tokyo when it happened. The day before, I felt, a shake. I was talking to my friend. I thought it was the wind, and then she was like, no, it was a small earthquake. 2 days later, I was typing on the computer. My computer started to shake. I'm like, wait, I think this isn't, it's not.
Right.
It's
Oh,
not,
no.
and
Oh
I'm on the
my
10th floor. Once it's finished, I go outside. I look down. There's people all over the street, and I'm like, why is everybody down there and I'm still up here? I run down. There's a big TV. Everybody's crowded, and I see people watching, and they keep showing the sea. And I speak Japanese, but not enough to understand what was going on at that point. That's when you start seeing the flood water start to come up, and then slowly, the cars are going.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We have 2 minutes. Okay, great. Yes. Please keep going. Sorry, I was going to go to a break.
After that, that day nobody could go home. Everybody, the subways were shut down. There was about there was over 60 aftershocks that day. There was at least 100 the day, and weeks after that, there were still big earthquakes. Like, I was walking around with my backpack on, ready. I didn't go back up to my apartment for a whole week. I was just going, to friends' houses, different, because it was crazy to be up, up that high.
Yeah.
Then the radiation and everything started to happen. So I booked it up to Osaka when I could. There's a lot of stuff going on that they don't really
talk about.
All
right. So I want to hear a little bit more about that. So we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back with King Aus. Stay tuned.
For over 75 years, Grash Backdrops has been supplying the dance industry with top quality backdrops on our training and coaching, dance teacher staffing consulting, and offer extensive